Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So, what I have before us here is a Wampa Graflex from Empire Strikes Back. This is Luke's stunt hilt throughout the whole movie, but this specific version is the Wampa Cave stunt, where he's hung upside down, frozen to the ceiling, and the hilt is in the snow. We see the stamping of the hilt, and he uses the force and pulls it from the snow. That's this specific hilt. And throughout Empire, it was redone for each, like Bespin. There's some modifications done, and as well as Dagobah. But this specifically is in the Wampa orientation. So this is obviously a vintage Folmer, no patent Graflex, used like the prop was based on the stamping that we see when it was in the snow. So yeah, let's get started in some of the accuracy details as well as some of the specifics to this hilt. So we're going to start at the top here, and we'll start here. It has a Folmer thin knurled red button, and most of the Empire heroes have the two thick knurled red buttons, so that's kind of a specific accuracy detail, as well as something that was used on the Luke stunt, being the thin knurled red button. And it has the intact beer tab. Luke's Bespin hero, like I said, has two red buttons, thick knurled red buttons, and it has the beer tab removed. So that's a little insight on that, but like I said, this specifically has the beer tab and the thin knurled red button, as well as the thick knurled red button. And this is also a Folmer, which is awesome. So that way it's two Folmer pieces to this Folmer. Sometimes there's Graflex ink buttons people have on these builds, so I was happy that this is a Folmer red button. And you can see here with the pins, it is straight pins. It's not stepped. I'm trying to get the camera to focus for you guys. You can see there that it is straight pins, so that's also a tell sign of being a Folmer. And the upper is in very good shape, as well as the whole flash, really, but since we have the upper in LED lighting and up very close. So stepping down from the upper, let's go to the clamp area. So something specific about Empire Strike Back hilts in general, Luke's, is the circuit card. From A New Hope, it had a bubble strip, and now it has a circuit card, obviously being not the same prop that we know of, but so something specific to the Wampa Cave is this thick trace at the bottom. Luke's hero hilts, Bespin and Dagobah, it doesn't have a thick trace at the bottom. So this is a nice difference, being the Wampa has a little bit difference versus the other hilts in Empire. And as you can see here, it has the Folmer, early Folmer lever, being the pin is a smaller diameter pin. And coming from that, now this is the only non-vintage part of the build, and it's this chrome tape that covers the Graflex logo on the clamp. I actually have period correct vintage tape, chrome tape. I was going to swap over at some point, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to keep this on because I didn't want to mess it up. And you can see here that this clamp is in very good shape. No corrosion, rust, or any weird stuff going on. And coming down from the clamp area, we have these specific grips, and these are Geno grips. That's what I use on all of my builds. Granted, I did not build this. I got this from a friend already built, so I don't take any credit for building this hilt, but I do have it, so that's a plus. So I believe there's 6 grips on this hilt, and it has the notches, the cutouts for the black screws. Reason being, I believe, so this even earlier was a Norway, the version was Norway, it's the same hilt. I believe that one did not have, I could be wrong, the only difference between this and that Norway is the grip screws are on the Wampa, being they were in Norway, and the grips fell off being so cold, so they ended up not cutting the grips out and applying screws to hold the grips in place. But yeah, with the grip orientation, some are, it's not equally spaced, not idealized, and this grip here being when it's in the snow, it's offset from the clamp. It kind of rides more of the right side of the bar on the clamp, so it's not idealized right in line with the clamp guard. But yep, so those are the grips. And then coming down bottom here, this is a very nice vintage feature as well. It has a chrome kobold clip, and that is, they're pretty rare to get. I see a lot of satin, but being the Wampa in the snow, we can tell the finish is more chrome, as well as later on, not 100% confirmed, but the DV6 has a chrome kobold as well. So being that this is certain that this is the same prop, we used the chrome kobold on the Wampa. And on the bottom as well, we have some vintage accurate size rivets, as well as a vintage accurate shaped and sized D-ring, which I was very pleased to have that on here. And you can see on the stamping, my camera, sorry. It's trying to focus here. It's not really doing a great job. Okay, you can see here, made by Folmer. And then there's no patent number. And so I believe when it's in the snow, it's kind of like at this angle, kind of like that. And everything is lined up accuracy-wise. And this is one thing also, this is the correct Wampa stamping, because it needs to be, the stamping needs to be a certain orientation to match the Wampa cave alignment, being when everything is in line, when the clamp is in the right orientation, the upper, the lower, that's another accuracy detail, being that it has the correct Wampa alignment. And one thing also about this hilt, nothing is screwed into it or ruining the flash. The rivets are cut flush. The kobold clip is E6000 on, as well as the rivets, and the screws are cut flush and glued onto the grips, and the grips are glued on, so that way we are preserving the flash here, and I'd hate to ruin such a nice flash with those potentially damaging the flash, putting holes in it. So yeah, I just wanted to take a nice detailed video. I know it's been a very long time since my last video. My last upload was a year ago, unfortunately, based on when I looked at my library. So I just wanted to put something out for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really enjoyed going over the aspects of the accuracy on these builds, and doing a nice in-depth video. If you like this video, have any questions, feel free to comment. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also, I'm on Instagram at StrikebackProps. If you guys want to check out my Instagram page, where I do uploads and photos of specific builds and upcoming projects. So thanks again, guys, for tuning into today's video, and I hope you have a good day.